It has been near a year since I have been here to metal detect one of my favorite spots in Alabama. Maybe twice a year I'll metal detect it. It is a spot that I only come to with permission. And this is the site of the 1972 truck wreck that dumped a mountain of pennies into this creek. And the driver lost his life, which is a horrible story, but it has changed. It is so deep right here. All the gravel has been pushed further and further on downstream. But as with most libraries, they sink. As water rolls and rocks roll, they sink. They drop and drop and drop. And about to this corner where the biggest privet hedge is hanging down is about as far as I've found one. And I've been down it, you know, semi far. That's a big old fro right there. I came downstream a little bit. I tried to go under the bridge, but that did not happen because it is knee-high mud. But everything has washed so much, there could potentially be a library in here. So we'll check it first. I got an 82 before I even started really walking anywhere. I'm wondering if it's going to be a can, because it is such a strong signal. But if it is, that could be a piece of the bridge. It is a piece of a can. So now we know what a can sounds like. I have I'm changing my plan here again. The day will come when you see a Garrett AT Pro exploded on the rocks. It is not working. I mean AT Gold. I'm thinking of a Tacoma. No, it's AT Pro. I don't know what it's called. But I want to show you this beast of a flashlight. I know what you're thinking. That is the biggest green suppository I've ever seen in my life. That is actually the WARSUN SP07S. It almost looks like sports, and it should have said that. This joker has a Vish beam, and I like it because it says right there how many percents you got. And then if you're not taking your time and thinking through things, hang on, and you're sitting out here saying, oh, I wonder what this button does, and you're looking down at it, you'll be absolutely blinded by that. But anyway, we're gonna take this thing into the water along with a good reliable backup, and simply because that is a big light, but it's got a broad beam, and I'm thinking it's gonna really show us a lot. So let's go under the city and see how well it works and look for stuff. We're gonna do a little downstream action first before we head upstream and go directly under the city, because it has been a long time since I brought you down here. This is where I first began my swishing under the cities and in the cities and everywhere else. And this is my favorite moisture on earth until, and it still is, but they did come and fill it with concrete. It's been years since I told y'all they're gonna come fill it with concrete. And they did. I didn't know they brought this TV. It was probably for me. And I hadn't been back. I kind of feel bad. I should have been down here watching TV. This gutter it's been working pretty good. That's not a gutter, dude. That's a ridge. That's a ridge line piece of metal. That's a gutter. So remember the day? It was long before I had a crack scratcher. I'd come down here do some of this, and do some of that. I did it with a wiffle ball bat, so I'm on the run to drop my gun. Okay. But remember we'd come down here, and all of this was sludgy sludge. And we would dig, and we'd swish. And we would do this, and we'd get all the ants off of us because we didn't like the ants. It seems like 4 years ago or 5 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was. It was a long ago. All this. All this, all this, all this. And this. I think we're gonna go down a little bit and swish a little bit on the way up. Then we will go under the city. These are some of the slickest green rocks you'll ever run your tongue across. Also, if you remember, the massive amount of minnows that used to just die at rando in here. And I did talk to some people about that. I did some water tests, and come to find out it is just it's from immediate and sudden temperature changes, because the water turned out to be not as polluted as you think it would be, as is the case in most city creeks all over the world. You know, it started with just fingers doing this, and there was a time before, phew, I can smell the dead fish. There was a time before all this concrete was in here that I had dug a hole right here, doggone near thigh deep. That's a chicken thigh. And pulled so much stuff out, and the majority of it I tossed right up here. Ow, 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 gotta get this stick off. There's still a few remnants. Oh man. I may do another test on this creek. There's no reason for all these minnows to die like that. Not that I'm a minnow activist, but there were so many, not so many, there were several mercury dams in this section right here. They were stuck in the sidewalls. Anyway, I don't know. So we will check the cracks right now. That was a good little splinter. Thank you. Like Led Zeppelin did a long time ago. Look at that. This is an old original hole right here. I might get a little bit deeper in it, but I'm not going to, because I want to keep going and do a quick pick and then get back upstream. How can such a tiny hole in your finger hurt me so bad? It doesn't. It's a tiny hole in my finger, and it hurts me so bad. Okay, enough scratching. Let's put on the glove of truth and do an exam. Oh yeah, did you see the dust fly? That means it is going to get serious. And I want to get where y'all can see. Otherwise, it's really no fun. I can't even see them there. But once it washes out and get all the fish guts out of there, it'll be quite impressive. Side note, Dad's doing a little better. He's trying to do a little better. He's jamming along. And so I'm excited. Sad note, John MacArthur one of my favorite creatures of my lifetime so far, passed away yesterday. I have listened and read his books since 1990, I don't even know, early 90s. And I got to looking it up, actually my bride did. He wrote 400 books. But I read about 5. I skimmed a lot more than 5. But if you think I have a hard time paying attention in here, you should watch me read a book. You ain't gotta watch for long because it ends quick for both of us. So, I'm just gonna make this quick and we're gonna roll under the city. I'm almost done. A lot of nails. I remember getting about my 3rd tetanus shot in this creek. It was a beautiful thing. Tetanus, that is. I also did my video thingy where you come, where they wanted to try to do a, remember that series they wanted to do, a reality series with my bride and I and maybe some other people, but I don't know any other people who are willing to commit. We made our, what is it called, a sizzle reel or something, like right here. It was cool. All right, time to go into the city. Okay, for 1 second, I think I changed the mind. It's made up of a bunch of gooey white stuff inside my skull. And want to look right here. I think you can see a little better and I can see a little better. So we're gonna move a few items and swish this for just the moment and see what turns up in this one. I don't know, maybe it should be that. No, quit, you need to focus. Okay. Remember when we got down to black dirt, we were down 100 years or so. And that's shown itself to be true because everything that came out was that old. Raurodia americanus, glaciana. These are frequent in city creeks. I still don't know what that was for. I know it's a type of fitting and made of brass, and it's quite the beauty, but it's not important. So as usual, we would pluck a rock. Oh, now this might be a good hole because that rock went somewhat deep. That is a cable fitting, not for like a cable car. That is a bolt from moons gone by. We will find a coin in this hole. And now that libraries are a thing of the past, oh yeah, got that booger up. Okay, this could turn out to be a neat little spot. Whew, the stench of fish gut weighs heavily on my schnozzle. So we're gonna move a little bit like this, a little bit like that. We're gonna stop and look. And I still do not see a coin in there, but I'm not up giving yet. Don't give up. Baby, babe, don't give up on me. There's a piece of lead. That's a rock. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to remove the arm after this. Never mind. We're not gonna talk about that. Let's just do this and see what's under here. If we can get through all that clay stuff. Oh good, we're getting down to needles. Once you get down to the needles, it's, oh my god, can y'all smell that? Scratch the screen and sniff it. There's something round. That is a Louis Vuitton. No, that is a brass screw. Put that right there. Thought we had something clever and cool. But oh no. If I would come back here in the bright of light, you would be able to see real well. And I will. I want to show you this first. You know what that is? That is lead, and it's gone. That is the top of a roofing nail from many moons ago. Look at all this stuff. There's our coin. That is a library. That is a piece of brass and a library. Now what I'm wondering is where it went. Now let's see, is that a library or a wheat? That is a library. As you can see, the library on the back. You squeeze out the hand, place the library right there. So we're not deep enough for quality coins yet, but if ever near, we will be there soon. We should just go in the water, but I don't want to do that yet until I'm sure this is where we want to stay, because I'm supposed to be somewhere else right now. I was hoping I could stick that through my hand, in one side and out the other, just so you could be aware of the dangers of this. I thought that was a bullet. That is a bullet. That's a rock, dude. You need to learn your garbage. Ha! Another lie. Rary. Now all I need is a diamond. That is a nickel. The K is silent. But somebody's lawnmower giving them fits. Ooh, a harvest, because that's 6 cents. 6 cents. I don't know, do you want to go under? I'll have to go silent. But we could. There's a nail, another nail, and another nail, another little metal ball, a brass rivet, and some worm poo. There is a piece of lead, that little white thing. That is a, come on. There's gonna be a gold coin in here. One day in my life, right? No, dude. It's not gonna happen. Well, I'm gonna be all mean about it. Okay. I don't want to stop. Except the back that holds my body vertical. Okay, we're gonna go on the side of this little pod right here. There's potato-shaped rock. A rare site in Alabama. Usually those, you find those out towards Idaho. Well, I wanted to show you that because it was an incredibly rare piece of metal. But I lost it. But good news. There's another one. I bet there's only one more like it down here. I don't know though. I really like this spot. But the smart people would start there instead of right here. But I don't think it would hurt to try right here. Can you see okay right here? I think so. Okay, good. We're gonna move that. And we're gonna move that. And we're gonna move that. All these are fish gut catchers. And we'll just gently swish this one spot where everything washes over after we look at it, because any recent jewelry and crap like that, it's weird when you splash this in your mouth. It's like going to a Chinese buffet, like you order something that has a little fishy taste to it. So you save a lot of money. That is an early, that's where they first invented plastic. Thing to start an IV. Back then they thought people's veins were bigger. That's not important right now. That's another class for all you nursing students. I always thought nursing came naturally, but a lot of people have to have nursing classes. But who am I to say? It smells like the buffet. Isn't it crazy how a fish smell in a restaurant at the beach makes you go, oh my goodness. You smell that? And you're like, yeah, dude, I smell it. And then you smell it here, and you're like, oh my goodness. You smell it? And everybody goes, yeah. It's like that raccoon commercial. Hey, this is horrible. You need to try this. This is absolutely, it just tastes terrible. Try it. Okay. I think I about worn out my welcome here. But maybe not. Now this area was not concreted. There's a sludge here and a sludge there, but whoever was pouring concrete that day just did like half the job, which is good. Because there's little spots like this that still have stuff that hasn't washed over. And with a gentle swish, oh my goodness. I gotta go hit a buffet after this. There is the library. Do you see it? We can dance. For inspiration. That is what number 2? I hate to be a crybaby about my metal detector, but my goodness. When I first bought it, it went to Texas about 3 different times. And after a while, you start asking yourself, what do I gotta do to make you want me? What have I got to do to be heard? And then when you find out nobody's listening, you come back to the creek and you dig in your little hole and you talk to yourself while people walk by and wonder what you're doing. It's about time to go into the sea. If any of you have fish tanks at home, then your familiarity will make you familiar with the little tiny green pods of poo that rests in the bottom of this luscious waterway. Now this little edge right here, oh gosh, that tasted like a little bit of buffet. A little bit of Monica in my life. Okay. Dude, quit swishing so hard, you'll stop getting in your mouth. I know, but I want to see what's in here. I gotta move. I think what we're gonna have to do is make one over the city. That looks like a fish on the end of that, doesn't it? I don't know what this is. This is a simulated fish stick. Watch. Doesn't it look like a fish? It does, you just don't want to admit it. Sometimes y'all just stay silent for a reason. And I understand. I saw a round ball. Okay, for all this, throw it, stand up and wait. I haven't done this in, oh my goodness, 375 moons maybe? If you watch all the hogwash I put on I don't know what that means, hogwash. I mean, we raised hogs when I was young, before moving over the seas, kind of over the river and through the woods. Mother, do you think they'll drop the board? That's a mother's board. They never made them called daddy board. The hog story. We never bathed or washed the hogs. No coincidence. We will try a couple of more tiny holes and not spend as much time. I'm thinking that one, it looks like a catcher. God, I wish I could get the reflection off. Maybe if I just back up, there we go. That helps a little bit, doesn't it? Well, I can't see anything, dude, you're stirring up all the water. Well, I gotta do that to figure out what's at the town. I told you, bling. Gold and diamonds. Right off on the bat, bruh. Bruh. Catch a glimpse at the bling. You wanna watch it bling? Right there's $500,000. $500,000 right there, stamped in brass. $500,000 bill, bruh. Look at that. I know what you're thinking. He's probably going to retire and shut down his YouTube channel, and we're never going to get to watch this incredible stuff again. No, this is why I do this. Put it right there, maybe I won't lose it out of the hole in the bottom of that thing, but if I do, it's okay. I do miss the gigantic holes I used to dig in here. Of course, they'd fill back up every time it would rain. Oh, I wish it would rain down. No. You know, the rest of that incredible jewelry is in here somewhere. somewhere. Okay, one more spot. I mean, my goodness, we're here, right? So how do you just stop? Okay, that's not a good stopping point because it looks like everything keeps washing. We'll take this crack. And then we're done, okay? Absolutely done. This was a good crack back in the day. Where do you see it? Wait, just wait a minute. Hold on, wait. Oh my goodness. That's some old creek right there. Okay, you ready? Yeah, me either. But what if it was? You can say, well, he was right. But I can say me either. And not feel bad about it. Me neither. I was just being polite. Thank goodness. There's usually, y'all remember the Saint Bernard I found? It was right here or here. I think it was right here. I know it was a Saint Bernard because I seen his picture on his Catholic website the other day, and he was back in his shop. Carrying around this jug of whiskey. I felt bad for him since he did that, but that's it. That's a good spot where we'll come back to. So we found 7 cents in the coins and $1 million worth of jewelry. Value is in the eye. Of the bomb holder. Well, that's people from Germany, and that's where that saying came from. Let's watch my videos. I completely forgot to give you the review on the flashlight, so this video is going to be broken. So here we are. Pretend like you were walking under here and it was dark. Okay, just for a second, just pretend that. And you have this WARSUN. I believe it's a 2K lumen. That's 2km. And you need a little light. Let's see where the buttons are. That is the beam that I have been looking for in a flashlight for a long time. And let's say that's a little too much, or an LTM if you will. You downplay it one button, you do it 2 buttons. The glitch is the LED, it's not the light. 3, 2, see, because once it's in the water, well, that's reflection, never mind. And that's it. And let's say you just want that little sidewinder. God, that joke is wrong. Oh, wait a minute. I did a 2 for 1 I don't know how I did that. So let's say you just want a little dusty, dirty light and you want to lick on that screw right there. And you say, well, that looks pretty good, but I don't know. That's a little better. Let's say you want to pretend like you're a fire person, because there's no such thing as fireman anymore, and you push this and you drive down the road. And then you want to turn it off. But I'm going to go ahead and say, that's the wrong button, dude. I'm going to go ahead and say, something just fell off the roof down there. So this is the light we're going to use in the next video when we finish. I don't know what just fell off the ceiling. But look at how broad the beam is, and it's one solid thing. Oh, who knew it did that? I didn't know that. Okay, so you slide it in and out. Everything. Oh, just something. Now I want to figure out how big the animal is that just fell in this water. This is amazing. I do like this light. That's what I've been looking for. So now we're going to start the other video back again without this light. I mean, with this light, but a different video. Thanks for watching my videos. I'll put the link to the flashlight. This flashlight's not expensive. It's like a $20-something flashlight. And I'm going to vote and say it's probably one of the only ones you're going to need. Okay, now, thanks for watching my videos.